Hello and welcome everyone, Lionheart here, and today I'm finally doing my feature video for the XMG P505 gaming laptop. If you don't already know, I'm sponsored by XMG, which you probably can tell considering I'm wearing an XMG hoodie, holding up an XMG laptop and talking about XMG. XMG. If you want to know more about the sponsorship, you can check out my video that I made on it saying I'm sponsored. I give you guys full disclosure on what that means. Also in the description you can find my affiliate code which gives you £30 off purchases on the XMG website, as long as it's not an existing monthly sale or something like that. But give it a go, you could save £30 if you use XMG-LIONHEART. You'll also find my affiliate link, and if you use that, that gives me a small kickback on any purchases and things like that. So that's obviously greatly appreciated and supports the sponsorship deal between myself and XMG. But if you want to know the full details, go check out that video, and that's also an unboxing of this laptop as well. But obviously, because I'm sponsored by them, it doesn't really make sense to do a review video of this, but I wanted to do a feature video of this as well as some benchmarks, which I know a lot of you have been looking forward to. I'll be linking to the benchmarks later on. You can find them all in the description as well. I've made them individual set videos because I wanted to discuss the settings I ran them on and didn't want to just throw you like a really long video of loads of different benchmarks. That way you can pick the benchmark that you're interested in for the games you're interested in playing. The benchmarks are Total War Attila, Total War Rome 2, Tomb Raider, Battlefield Hardline, which I should know I am awful at, and you will see that, but I was mainly just trying to, show a range of FPSs and, how well it ran, and the GTA 5 benchmark as well. This thing runs that so well, I love it. Credit to Rockstar though as well for finally making a really well optimized GTA game on PC. But anyway, so I will run you over the specs of this first of all. So this, I should say, XMG's laptops for the most part are, most parts are completely customizable. You can change, screen, graphics card. In some cases you can change processor. On the P505 you can't. You have to get the i7 4720 HQ. I don't know why you'd want to choose any other processor, to be honest, because it goes from 2.6 GHz turbos to 3.6. Does the job really well. I've even rendered videos on this and it breezes through them very nicely. So it handles that great. Yeah, but you can choose loads of different, you can change the RAM, hard drives, loads of different options. You can even go for a 4K screen as well. There is a 3K model as well. I've just got the standard 1920 by 1080, and I'm happy with that. I'm not too bothered, especially because obviously the latest series of NVIDIA's graphics cards and mobile GPUs, I believe, all support their DSR, their downscaling, super sampling thing, which kind of downscales from a higher resolution, so I could run 4K graphics and then downscales it to 1920 by 1080, which should minimize the need for loads of anti-aliasing because you're getting a crisper image quality or something like that. Anyway, the specs of the P505 that XMG very kindly sent me was obviously the i7 4720 processor, the 1920 by 1080 monitor or screen, 8 gig of Hyper Impact RAM, 8 gig there, so obviously I can upgrade that if I wanted to and go for 16 gig or more later on. Relatively easy to upgrade that RAM. They've given me a 256 gig solid state hard drive, which is actually plugged in via the PCI Express slot on the board for this laptop, which is pretty cool. It's very fast. It has my operating system on, 1 or 2 games, but most of them go on the 1 terabyte hard drive that's also in this beastie. And that holds loads of games. If I do any recordings with capture cards or software, fraps, etc., that all goes on there. So plenty of space. I think that's pretty much it for the basic specs. Oh, well, no, the most important thing, the graphics chip. That's a GTX 970M, which performs very well. Depending on which benchmarks you look at, roughly for me, I always kind of like to try and compare it to a desktop GPU, because while it does say a 970, it is a 970M, so it's not as powerful as the desktop variety of it. This is kind of, I think most of the benchmarks show that this comes in around about the same performance as a desktop GTX 770, which is actually the graphics card I had in my PC before I put a 980 in it. So that's still a really powerful desktop card, and the fact that it's in this now as a GTX 970M You know, it can play pretty much all the games I want maxed out. You know, and bar Total War, most of them are running at well over 60 FPS, but obviously Total War is a little bit different, you know, not as well optimized processors and things like that, CPU stuff, very demanding games. Anyway, you'll see that in the benchmarks, and just how well this thing performs. But showing you the ports now on the sides. Obviously you've just seen the front there, which obviously has some LED lighting on the left hand side. It's nice and slim actually. I really like the design and the chassis build of this. I thought initially when XMG spoke to me and told me what you know, what was in it, I was thinking, oh, it's going to be a big laptop surely. No, surprisingly it's actually reasonably thin. Just done a quick measurement with the old ruler, and roughly at its highest point is only 2.5 centimeters thick. So yeah, as you can see, it's not a big bulky laptop, despite the fact that it's got some big bulky components, well not bulky, but big powerful components in there, and as hopefully the benchmarks will show, you'll be reasonably impressed with how this thing performs. Going on to the side panel, you obviously have a fan, vent and exhaust there. You've got an HDMI out, you've got a USB 3.0, and then I believe you've got the 2 display ports. Over on the right hand side, you've got all your audio connectors. You've got kind of auxiliary, you've got a microphone, a headphone jack, you've got SD card reader. You've actually got a SIM card slot as well, which I have not noticed that before. You've got 2 USB 3.0 devices in there, ports in there. You've got Ethernet, and then you have a lock port where you can plug in a Kensington lock thing. Over on the back you have kind of more exhaust, and I believe that's where the GPU is situated, so that's where your main heat is going to come from that 970. Or you can actually put in a 980 into this thing if you customize it and choose that, or a 965, GTX 965 as well. That's the lowest graphics card or chip you can put into this, but it's still pretty powerful. Then you've got the power, and you have an eSATA connector as well. Also, just wanted to flip things over onto the back. You can actually see a little bit into the laptop, but it's got loads of vents on there, obviously to get as much air in there as possible to cool it down. Now, I will briefly throw up a kind of combined fan and sound test for the XMG P505. When I first got this, for like the first week, I was actually kind of disappointed by the sound output. I didn't think it was really that loud, which was kind of disappointing. Then I realised in the options I hadn't turned on loudness equalization in the settings, and boom, sound got pushed up. I now only listen at about 50%, and I can, you know, enjoy movies and things like that. Obviously, should mention this does not have an optical drive, so you will need to plug in an external DVD or Blu-ray drive if you want to watch disc versions of stuff. But for Netflix and everything else, plays really well. But anyway, yes, I'll hand you over to that fan and audio test. I'll quickly throw the fans up to maximum and play some sound for a bit so you can see how loud the fans are when you're playing music at 100%. And then I will turn it back down to automatic, so it should drop back down. I should say though, while gaming, when I've had the sound now with that loudness equalization enabled, haven't really had a problem. Obviously I know the fan is going because it's keeping this beast cool, but it's not really disrupted my gaming, and obviously you can always plug headphones in as well if you want to cancel that out completely. But it's not too bad. I expected it to be, you know, a reasonable noise level. It's a gaming laptop, they're gonna be loud to get those beefy components, powerful components in there. But you know, I'm not too, you know, I'm not disappointed with it. It's actually okay. So enjoy the fan and sound test. So that was the fan and sound test. I hope you found that useful. If you want any more information about that, let me know. Just to summarise all of that though, the fan and the sound together, when it's on maximum like that, in fact I've never actually seen it hit, that was 100% fan speed. The maximum I see on the automatic preset, I think it hits about 70 or 80% of a kind of max fan speed. And as I said, once you've got that loudness equalization enabled in the sound options, so watching movies, I only watch movies at about 50% maximum output. For gaming, yeah, I can whack up to 100%. And yeah, I know the fan is there, but it certainly doesn't detract from the gameplay. It's loud enough through its speakers, which is actually something quite impressive, because sometimes that is certainly what lets a mobile gaming solution down. But the XMG P505 does that really well. So, just before I wrap up and link you guys to all the various benchmarks you can check out, I thought I'd let you know what the cost of this, what the price of this is. Now, obviously you can get £30 off if you use my XMG code. You can find that in the description. But for the current spec that I outlined that this has at the start of the video, this retails for £1,340. So obviously if you use my code, £1,310. That's if you buy it today, or you know, right now, that's what the current spec price is. Obviously you can tweak things, you can change things, maybe you don't want a solid state, maybe you don't want such a large hard drive, whatever basically, or maybe you want more and you can obviously add more to that. Now for a lot of desktop users that is going to seem very expensive, but that is because at the end of the day people that are looking at gaming laptops are looking for that portable high-end gaming solution, and this delivers. It does it really well, and because I've had a look at gaming laptops before, and I've actually owned a couple of gaming laptops as well, I kind of know, I have a rough idea of kind of where the value versus kind of performance meets, and this hits the nail right on the head. I've seen some laptops with similar or slightly worse spec go for £1,500, but XMG, you know, they're offering a really a really decent deal with this. They're offering a really good customization option. I love companies that offer that, and XMG do that really well, that you can change pretty much every single part of it. Just in this case it's just not the CPU that you can change, but really I don't think you'd want to change from that i7. It does things really well. But have a look across that whole range of laptops. If you're interested, again, use my affiliate link in the description if you want to check out their stuff. And feel free to let me know of any more benchmarks you want to see done, or any more features or overviews done on this video. So around the screen right now you should see kind of little thumbnail video links appearing where you can click on them, and that will take you straight to the corresponding benchmark. We've got Total War Attila, Total War Rome 2, Tomb Raider, Battlefield Hardline, which I suck at, and the GTA 5 benchmark, all being captured with a capture card from the XMG P505. So again, thanks to XMG for obviously making this video possible, for sponsoring me and providing me with the XMG P505. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. Also, I should say that I'm going to try and contact them and see if I can get more of these hoodies, so I can do some giveaways with these, because I've talked to a couple of people actually already that have come across these hoodies at either events or other giveaways and what have you, but these hoodies are super comfy. So I will try and talk to them, so keep your eyes peeled on my Facebook, Twitter, Instagram and all that for potential chances to get some XMG hoodies. They're super comfy and nice and warm too. Don't forget to check out all the links in the description, and I will see you all again soon. Ciao for now.